No road trains means no fuel, no food, and no freight. That's not an exaggeration. If road trains disappeared tomorrow, entire towns across Australia would go dark and fast. Supermarket shelves would be empty, mines would grind to a halt, and fuel stations out of gas within days. But here's the thing, most people around the world have no idea why these mechanical monsters are so important. So today we're pulling back the curtain. Why does Australia depend so heavily on these beasts of the highway? What makes them different from every other truck in the world? And why can't other countries even attempt to use something this extreme? Let's find out why road trains are the only thing standing between remote Australia and complete collapse. If you've never seen a road train before, picture this. Not one, not two, but up to 4 trailers hitched together behind a single truck, stretching over 170 feet long. That's longer than a Boeing 737. We're talking about vehicles that weigh over 130 tons when fully loaded. Now compare that to the US or Europe, where strict regulations usually cap trailer combinations at just 2 and limit total lengths to around 80 feet. In Australia, road trains are in a league of their own. They aren't just trucks, they're mobile freight trains rolling on rubber instead of rails. Let's be honest, Australia isn't built like the rest of the world. This continent is massive and mostly empty. Over 85% of Australians live along the coast. But what about the outback, that harsh, dry heart of the country? Small towns, isolated mines, giant cattle stations the size of small nations. Rail lines? They don't even come close to reaching most of these places. And that's where road trains come in. One truck hauling multiple loads across thousands of miles of dirt, dust, and desert. Without them, the center of Australia would be completely cut off. Let's talk money, because road trains don't just carry freight, they carry the entire economy on their backs. They transport over 700 million tons of freight every year in Australia. That includes mining equipment, livestock, building materials, fuel, food, and even drinking water. Imagine trying to move that volume with small delivery trucks. The cost would explode. More fuel, more drivers, more delays. Road trains solve that. They do more with less. One experienced driver can move 4 times the cargo in a single trip. Less fuel per ton, less wear on roads, less logistical chaos. For the mining and agricultural industries especially, road trains aren't a luxury, they're non-negotiable. Now, let's talk machines. You can't haul over 100 tons of cargo through extreme heat and dirt tracks without serious hardware. Road trains are equipped with some of the most powerful engines on the planet. We're talking 15 to 18-liter diesel engines producing up to 600 horsepower and 2,000 plus pound-feet of torque. Suspensions are reinforced for rough terrain. Multi-stage braking systems keep them safe going downhill. And the gearboxes? They're built to handle long-haul punishment. Popular models? You'll mostly see Kenworth T909s, Max Superliners, and Volvo FH16S, all designed or modified specifically for the Outback. These aren't your average highway trucks. These are battle-tested machines built for the wild. So, how do they actually keep everything moving? Let's break down the supply chain. A typical route might look like this. A road train leaves a coastal port carrying containers packed with supplies, heads inland 1,000 miles to a mining town, drops off gear and fuel, then picks up raw minerals and brings them all the way back. Other times, they're hauling hay to drought-stricken farms or delivering fresh groceries to a town of 300 people in the middle of nowhere. Some make the legendary Tanami Track run from Alice Springs to Halls Creek, over 1,000 kilometers of dirt, potholes, and isolation. Every trip is different, but each one is essential. Let's not forget the human side. Road train drivers, they're some of the most skilled operators in the world. They need special licenses, advanced training, and nerves of steel. Maneuvering a 53-meter-long beast through narrow outback tracks in 100-degree heat while dodging kangaroos at 2 a.m., that's not something just anyone can do. And it's not just physical, it's mental. These drivers spend days, sometimes weeks, alone on the road. They sleep in their cabs, face intense heat, dust storms, and mechanical breakdowns with no help for miles. It's one of the toughest and most underappreciated jobs in the entire transport industry. Now, these massive machines can't just roll down any old street. Australia has dedicated legal and road infrastructure support. Now, these massive machines can't just roll down any old street. Australia has dedicated freight routes, thousands of kilometers of highway built specifically for road trains. These roads are wider, stronger, and carefully managed to handle the weight and size. There are also strict laws around where and how road trains can operate. Triple and quad trailer combinations are only allowed in certain regions under certain conditions with special permits. It's not the Wild West, it's a well-oiled legal freight system. Here's the question that always comes up. Why doesn't every country use road trains? Simple, they don't need to, and most can't. Europe is too dense and crowded. US roads have strict length limits and city congestion. And while rail is great in urban areas, it fails where there's no track. Air freight? Way too expensive for bulk goods. Smaller trucks? Not even close when you factor in fuel and driver costs. In the Australian outback, the only real solution, the only one, is road trains. So let's bring this home. Australia's geography is brutal and empty. Its economy depends on remote industries. The distances are vast, the infrastructure is limited, and the goods have to move. Road trains were built to answer that challenge, and they do it better than anything else could. From the coastal ports to the heart of the desert, they deliver every ton of freight, every head of cattle, every gallon of fuel. They don't just move cargo, they move Australia. If you learned something new about road trains today, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What surprised you the most? Was it the size, the weight, or just how essential they are? And don't go anywhere. Next up, we're diving into the most extreme road train ever built, one that cost over $1.2 million to create and can haul over 500 tons through the outback. Trust us, you don't want to miss that.